Hi, my name's Ewan and welcome to our Cardiff University Open Day web pages. Over the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to talk you through Cardiff University, both academically and socially, and give you an idea as why you might want to consider it as an option. Cardiff University is part of the Russell Group, who are 24 universities in the UK who are committed to academic excellence in research and teaching, and we're the only one in Wales, something we're really proud of. We've got over 300 different degree programmes, so we offer a range of different subjects from a whole host of different subject areas. I'm going to show you some examples of those shortly. We're a very internationally diverse university, over 33,000 students from over 100 countries all over the world. So both the university and the city is very diverse culturally. In terms of graduate employability, so this is where we look at what students are doing after they graduate from university. Are they either in work, further training, travelling, or have a job lined up? Of our 2018-2019 graduates, 96% of those were able to find work, further training, or travelling opportunities within 15 months of graduating, so a very high number. And also our location really helps us stand out as well. We are down the road from a capital city centre, so everything a student could look for from a city is just down the road as well. But again, I'm going to come on to that a bit later on. As I mentioned, we have over 300 different degree programmes to choose from. The number is so high because you add in options like study abroad options, placement options, joint honours as well, which is where you can do two subjects together. The numbers do multiply. But on the screen there, you can quickly see an example of some of our different departments. Within many of these, of course, there are further subject options available. There is also NHS funding available as well. If you want to find out more about that, you can search for the NHS Wales bursary, which allows students studying an NHS-based course to get some money off the NHS towards their tuition fees and student living as well. Being part of the Russell Group, like I mentioned, we do really recognise excellence, and we're also this year named the Times and Sunday Times Welsh University of the Year 2022. So we do really recognise excellence wherever we can. We've got very flexible degree structures. I briefly mentioned earlier on about things like placement options, study abroad options as well, which is where you can spend a year out of your studies and get experience. But also the modules you choose on the courses themselves as well are very flexible. In many cases, towards your latter years of the course, years 2 and 3, you are able to pick and choose lots of the modules you want to study yourself. So you're able to tailor the course to suit your interests and follow your exact path you want to. We offer a range of prelim year courses. We also have a mixture of vocational and professional content, including optional placements on many courses, like I've mentioned. To pick a few examples, engineering, business, computer science, physics, and many more as well. We also offer a range of accredited courses across the university. Being part of the Russell Group, like I mentioned, does mean we have lots of accredited courses in a whole host of different subject areas. I've mentioned a few times how the university is very research intensive, and being part of the Russell Group really helps that stand out as well. And you might think, well, why is that important to me as a student? Why does research matter? The university is at the cutting edge of research and breakthroughs in a range of different areas. We have leading scholars and academic staff. Very high standards of learning and teaching as well, which means that students are able to benefit from a very vibrant teaching environment. But also students aren't just going to read about it and learn about it that way. They can take part in research projects firsthand if they want to. We have the Cardiff University Research Opportunities Programme, or CUROP for short, which is where students can take part in research projects over summer and get paid to do that for up to 8 weeks. And that can be done in any of our different departments. So that's a good chance to get involved in research, which helps you develop skills, meet new people, and make some money at the same time. So definitely something worth looking into. And also in the most recent Research Excellence Framework, we were actually ranked second in the UK for the impact of our research as well, and among the top 5 universities in the UK for research excellence. So like I said, research really does come hand in hand with Cardiff University. In terms of our facilities, what we actually offer here at Cardiff, we're currently undergoing the biggest campus upgrade in a generation, which involves a £600 million investment. For anyone coming to the open day, you'll see our brand new Centre for Student Life. If anyone is familiar with Cardiff anyway, you probably will have seen this going up over the past year or so. Our brand new Centre for Student Life in the heart of the Cathays campus. The centre is going to provide a new home for all our student support services, offering additional social study spaces, consultation rooms, quiet contemplation spaces, and also a massive auditorium as well as other things as well. And alongside this, we've had a chance to invest in improvements to our support services as well. So it means that students are well supported at Cardiff University through our student mentor scheme as well, personal tutor scheme, and residence life scheme, which is where current wardens and students will act as a support for students when they live in accommodation at Cardiff University. It means that students are very well supported when they get to Cardiff Uni. There's also Abacus, the new building for the School of Mathematics and Computer Science and Informatics as well. And also students have got access to over 1.2 million printed books across all of our libraries, many of which are 24/7, so students are able to get working and get some work done whenever they can. I mentioned earlier on about our location and how this really helps us stand out as well. A lot of students and families who do visit Cardiff for the first time are really quite surprised at how close we are to the city centre. Being a capital city, they also expect it to be very big and very spread out, probably quite difficult to get around, but I would say Cardiff's the exact opposite of that. You can see on the map there that the brown area at the bottom of the map, that is the Cardiff city centre. So you've got some of the best shopping outside London there, big sports venues, Cardiff Castle, so lots of cultural venues as well, and loads of little arcades and different places to get some food as well. The red box in the middle is the Cathays campus. So you can see we're just down the road from the city centre. This is home to our Centre for Student Life, like I've already mentioned, our Students' Union, and the majority of our buildings here at Cardiff University. At the top of the screen, you'll see the other red cluster. That is our Heath Park campus, home to our medicine and dentistry schools and some healthcare as well. The other thing you'll probably note is the big green park areas as well. Being a capital city, you probably wouldn't expect it to be so green, but as you can see, we've got big spaces for students. In terms of large UK cities, Cardiff actually has the most green space per person of any other large UK city. So it's quite unique in that sense. And you can already see the big space next to the university, one of the largest urban parks in Wales. Most residences are also within a short walking distance as well. They're the purple bits around the map. Talabont, for example, which is quite popular at the top of the green park on the left-hand side, is about a 10-15 minute walk to the main campus. So students do save a lot of money getting around. I'll talk a bit more about accommodation shortly though. But accommodation, location-wise, as you can see, there's loads to do in Cardiff in a very, very short distance as well. The picture on the screen now is a picture of Cardiff Bay, something I haven't mentioned yet. Cardiff Bay is a bit of a different scene to the city centre. When it was developed or redeveloped, it was actually the largest European waterfront development at the time, costing over £100 million. It's got the Wales Millennium Centre, as you'll see in the background, which houses loads of shows and performances all year round. It's also a bit of a different scene, like I mentioned, to the city centre for students and families who like to come and visit Cardiff. Being a capital city, there's lots to do. It's always a busy place to be in Cardiff city centre. We're very close to the coast and countryside as well. So you could drive half an hour north from Cardiff and be in the Brecon Beacons mountain range. You could drive 25 minutes south-southwest, and you're going to be in some beautiful beaches as well. So it's really close to the coast and countryside. Again, very unique for a capital city university. It's also very easy to get around. I showed you the map and how close everything is, and that just means that it's very affordable for students as well. Very easy to get around because you can really walk everywhere. We've also got the Next Bike scheme here in Cardiff, which is where students can pick up a bike and get a free bike ride for about half an hour. Anything after that is around about 50p per half hour. But because everything is so close, especially around the university and city centre, you're never normally over half an hour getting from A to B anyway. So it normally ends up being a free trip into your university for the lectures or other activities. Again, being a capital city, it enables great transport links to and from Cardiff all over the UK. It's also a very vibrant, safe and welcoming place to live as well. You'll see in the top right-hand side, the purple flag. That officially lists Cardiff as an entertaining, safe and diverse night out. It's a bit like the blue flag for beaches and the green flag for parks. So it's officially listed as a safe place to live as well. And we took this quote from the Complete University Guide, which we think sums up Cardiff quite nicely. Cardiff is a thriving and attractive capital city, widely recognised as an outstanding place to live. And that's what students say when they get here as well. We do have very high student satisfaction. That's because they do love Cardiff when they get here. In terms of living in Cardiff, accommodation for students at Cardiff is guaranteed for all first years. We've got a choice of 16 different residences with a variety of different options, the majority of which offer ensuite bathrooms and self-catered options. So you'll do cooking yourself with your flatmates, which I personally thought was one of the best parts of uni, especially in the first year. We do have a number of fully catered and part catered rooms as well, amongst different options as well. We've also got a lettings agency owned by and run by the Students' Union, which is award-winning. It's consistently ranked one of the best in Wales, and they will help you find accommodation in years 2 and 3 when you do move into your shared house in and around the Cardiff city centre area. Very affordable, again, regularly ranked as one of the more affordable cities and universities to live in. Accommodation is very affordable, and you can find out more about that on our accommodation web pages and throughout the open day as well. And as I've already showed you, they're in a great location. The 16 different halls are mainly spread out. There are some which have got 4 in 1, like Talabonk, like I mentioned, and also the both St Gennis sites are very close together. Apart from that, they're fairly spread out, but all within a very short distance. The only one that's a bit further out, University Hall, does have a shuttle bus to and from the university as well. Just as I come towards the last few minutes, a bit more about the culture of Cardiff. You'll probably recognise some things on the screen there, the Wales Millennium Centre, Doctor Who, and also the Principality Stadium, otherwise known as the Millennium Stadium. But we are the home to all these different cultural activities, from TV shows and movies. Very recently, we've had Tom Hardy doing some filming down the Cardiff Bay area. And also Mark Wahlberg was here a year or two ago filming in Cardiff as well. We're also home to lots of culture in terms of music, so St David's Hall, the Welsh National Opera, the Motorpoint Arena, and also the oldest record shop in the world, Spiller's Records, which actually opened in 1894 down one of our many arcades in Cardiff. In terms of sport, we're a very sports-heavy city and university. We've got the Principality Stadium, like I mentioned, home to the international rugby team. Cardiff City Stadium, home to Cardiff City Football Club. Sophia Gardens Cricket Ground, which is home to Glamorgan County Cricket Club, but also many England Test matches as well, including Ashes matches. Cardiff International Pool. We've also got the UK's first on-demand whitewater rafting centre as well, and the ice rink down Cardiff Bay, home to the Cardiff Devils Ice Hockey Club as well. So lots of sport to get involved in terms of spectating, and it makes it a very, very social and active city as well in that sense. On things like Six Nations Days, because the Principality Stadium is bang in the middle of the city centre, the atmosphere goes through the whole city and the whole student community as well. Just sticking on the theme of sport very quickly, we offer loads of sport. We've got over 65 sports teams here at Cardiff University, suitable for all abilities. There's no expectation to have played to a certain level. You can play interdepartmental teams, which is a bit less competitive, and you can play for the university as well against other universities. We've got a range of facilities, including gyms, squash courts, tennis courts, and also 33 acres of sports fields. We're part of the Bucks League, the British Universities and Colleges Sports League. We're currently ranked 12th in the UK out of over 150 universities and colleges, so we're doing pretty well there as well. We've also got the Welsh Varsity, where we compete against Swansea University in over 40 different sports on one day of the year. And I think if you ask many students at Cardiff University, that's one of the days they look forward to most in the whole year. We've got the Cardiff Half Marathon. And also, like I mentioned, there's lots of live international rugby matches as well, where you get a chance to get involved and either work at these games or spectate as well. We've also got the Sport High Performance Programme available for elite athletes. If you want to find out more about that, then you can look on our sports web pages. We've also got one of the top ranked students' unions in the UK as well. In the most recent What Uni Student Choice Awards, we were ranked 3rd in the UK for our students' union, and that's because of a number of reasons. As I mentioned, our sports teams, we've also got over 200 societies, ranging from TV and film, to charity, to food, to subject, to anything you can think of, really. So loads of things to get involved in there. The union is also home to lots of live music and club nights. We've got our own student media, including a radio station and newspaper as well, all worked on by our current students. So another good chance to develop skills and meet new people as well. And also Job Shop, which is a bit like a job centre here at the university. If you want to get some part-time work while you're here at Cardiff, make some money, meet new people as well, then you can sign up to Job Shop and get notified anytime there's any work in the university, on open days, or also in the city centre as well. But there's lots more to it as well. It's got its own nightclub, its own pub, its own places to eat, its own hairdressers, its own mini store, places to eat, lettings agency, like I mentioned. There's lots more to it, and that's why it's consistently ranked one of the biggest and best in the UK. That's all from me. Hopefully we'll see you very soon at the university for open days. Hopefully this has given you a good flavour as to what you can find out about at Cardiff University. Like I said, students who come to Cardiff do really fall in love with the city and the university as well. If you want to find out more, then there'll be more information on the open day web pages and at the open day itself. And you can see our website, cardiff.ac.uk, or you can give us a ring on 02920 874455. But thank you very much for listening, and we hope to see you very soon.